Scientists recently have discussed the idea that there is a multiverse, essentially a vast number of universes, each one manifesting one of the latent potentialities of the divine. Separately, there is the discussion of string theory, which posits a smaller number of potential variations based on specific types of energetic differences. In either case, scientists describe objective existence that makes manifest potentialities that are possible but not manifested in our world and our universe. Our universe represents one particular configuration, not necessarily the only possible configuration. This conceptual framework can also be applied to the manifestation of the soul, the psychic being, as it brings into the objective reality of the external world a particular formation of body, life, and mind and ego sense to carry out some particular idea or possibility that remains otherwise latent or potential until such time as a particular psychic being determines to objectify that possibility. Because each potential formation has within it its own law of being. When it becomes manifest, it follows the principles embedded within that possibility. Each of these forms, each of these formations, each of these possibilities showcases a particular aspect or form of the divine reality. A disciple inquires, quote, "I did not understand the explanation of the psychic you have given. One could say, for example, that the creation of an individual being is the result of the projection in time and space of one of the countless possibilities latent in the supreme origin of all manifestation, which, through the medium of the one and universal consciousness, takes concrete form in the law or the truth of an individual, and so, by a progressive development, becomes his soul or psychic being." End quote. The mother responds, "It is a little philosophical. You know the difference between what is subjective and what is objective? You know it. Well, imagine precisely this reality we were speaking about, which is at the origin of all things, passing from the subjective to the objective state. That is, what was within becomes as though projected outside. It is the same thing. It is the state that changes. And so, within it there are all the possibilities of objective existence. Within they are unexpressed, unmanifested. Outside they are projected, as a picture is projected on the cinema screen. We see it before us. And every element that was a possibility within, a law, becomes the law of a realization. And every one of these possibilities becomes the reality of a being, of an individuality, if you like, of something existing objectively. And it is that law which is the origin of the center of the psychic being. It is the truth of the being, or the law of the being. The Buddha called it the law. He spoke of the Dharma. It is the truth of the being. It is that which binds it again, indestructibly to its origin. And that is the starting point of the psychic being. And so, even as this develops, like the picture on the screen, it takes a more and more complex and precise form in the manifestation. But the reality of that form is one. It is bound to the one, and all the units are linked together and reproduce the one." End quote. Reference, Sri Aurobindo and the Mother, The Psychic Being, Soul, Its Nature, Mission, and Evolution, Section 6, More Lights on the Psychic Being, pages 159 to 160.